Okay, folks, this is Tony Aguilar, and I've got another 1/72nd scale unboxing from Plastic Soldier Company. Of course, all these that I've gotten recently are because of a trade that I did with Noble Knight. Used my credit. I figured, hey, let's get more 1/72nd scale stuff instead of the things I haven't touched in 20 years. Now, they weren't kits or anything. They happen to be games and stuff that I haven't played in a very long time, but hopefully we'll get better use out of these and build these online on a live feed and all that stuff. So, without further ado, this is the German Panther ausf with zimmerit. Only 2 vehicles come in here. This is a rather large vehicle, so normally they come with 3 tanks, or even more if they're trucks, but these larger vehicles, the Churchill set also only comes with 2, I understand, but only 2 Panthers in here, and there's a couple different versions you can make in here. 2 Panther ausf tanks with zimmerit anti-magnetic mine paste. It includes commander figures and stowage. Let's take a look inside what we've got. Oh, it's not even cut up. I figured we were going to have 4 sprues, I would imagine, and that's correct. Instructions. This is the old school box. They've stopped making those. I understand they're going to be blisters now. And here is the instructions for these rapid build kits. And you can make 2 different versions of the ausf, and they're almost exactly the same except for the exhaust. And I don't know which one is the later and which one's the earlier. I would guess that the earlier one had 2 exhausts and the later one had this symphony of different exhausts. What is it, 4? But that may not necessarily be the case. One thing is important: if you are making an ausf, which is, you would think that ausf would be the first version of the Panther, but it is not. The D is the first version. Don't ask me why, it doesn't make any sense, but the D, other than some minor details on there, on the turret, well, actually some major details on the turret, the hull had a sliding port, not a ball mount machine gun. And the early A's also had that type of thing. So this is a mid-production range of the A's and late production versions of the A's, all of which would have had the textured magnetic paste either applied at the factory or applied in the field. Now, this is very neatly, consistently applied. This looks like a factory coating, but there may have been exceptions that this was not on certain Panthers, but it would have been definitely the exception. Most of these vehicles have this already put on there, which it doesn't look bad on a Panther. I don't like how they look on Panzer IVs, for instance, but they look okay on the bigger tanks. Very nicely done on there. That should turn out really well. And what I really like is they give you lots of extra spare tracks. You put them on the sides of the turrets. You can put them on the sides of the hulls here. Got 2 figures. Just 2? Yeah, 2 figures. Looks like one that can be the driver, because you can actually have open driver compartments. That's kind of unusual. A lot of people don't do that. Or radio operator. You can make him the radio operator / hull machine gunner that has his head out of there. And you know, the turret, nice detail on there with the zimmerit, and even has a AA machine gun included. Pretty cool. You can make this open or closed. The commander's cupola. There's 2. I'll probably put a commander in one and not one in the other, just knowing how I like to make them look a little different. No decals are included in these. I forgot to mention that in these vehicles. No decals are included in Plastic Soldier Company. Probably the only downside, I think, you can have the back side of the tracks detailed, like the spare tracks. Pretty cool. Really pretty cool. So here's the 2 different exhaust options. One has got a lot of pipes and one's just got 2 pipes. And some nice zimmerit around the rear end of the vehicle. You don't have to worry about putting together those interleaven road wheels. They're just molded solid, which, you know, if you're a modeler, that might bother you, but doesn't really bother me. One thing that's nice is it's got these side shirts in, or the mini shirts in, that really just dangle off the side of the hull here. They just protect the top portion of the running gear. They don't go all the way to the bottom. And I have a resin kit that I didn't put them on because they have a really hard time attaching them. Here we go. This is a Panther of I believe this might actually be an early G. I don't know. But it's, comparative sized. They're pretty close in size. This might be a little on the larger side, but, this has zimmerit that was molded on as well. This is a model kit by Britannia, and it actually has zimmerit that's actually damaged. So, like, it's been chipped away, which is not that difficult to happen to it. But, yeah, we painted this one up like Panzer. They use those big numbers in Normandy. And we'll probably do the same thing or something similar to these as well. So, yeah, lots of cool stuff. Big vehicle. Everybody likes a Panther, right? It's everybody's favorite. One of Germany's favorite German tanks. Was for me growing up. Even though it was yellow, I kind of have a soft spot for gray vehicles for the Germans. But, yeah, assembly instructions, pretty simple. Easy to put together. You don't have to struggle with that running gear, which could be a nightmare if you're not experienced. Yeah, pretty much it. The only thing, it does not have the muzzle brake on the long 75mm gun is not drilled out. I don't know if that bothers you or not. It doesn't really bother me. It is nice that it is a one-piece barrel, so you don't have to worry about a half of it that's maybe warped and then doesn't glue in correctly and all that. You just can pretty much put it on there, sand to make sure you don't have the little the flash on the edge, and you're good to go. All in all, pretty much a good kit. I think the other thing that I mentioned that I saw somewhere is it does not have the holes for the periscope or the coaxial machine gun drilled out. So I believe the periscope is 2 little holes, and then there is a coax machine gun. Pretty easy to do on your own. If you forget to do it, probably nobody would notice, but I might have forgotten, but I just mentioned it, so hopefully that's fresh in my mind. But anyhow, yeah, Panthers ahoy. So 2 more for the 1944 time period. These would be, they might have been available in really late 43, but it's pretty much a 44. They manufactured these guys all the way into mid 44 when the G's took over. So most of the vehicles, if you're doing for Panthers at Normandy, these would be perfectly acceptable. They do have, one note, they do have the longer, let's see if I can show these to you, the longer fenders. You can see where the bend is here. I may take those off because those ripped off real easy. Generally, you only see those longer fenders on Panthers. At least I've only seen them on Panthers or at Kursk, which was their first outing. Would have been a different version of the Panther than this one. It would have been D's, but they had the longer ones pictured. Ripped those things off in no time, and they didn't put them on. They really didn't serve that much of a purpose. So I may take those off of this vehicle with some fine-tuned cutting. But, it's plastic. It's really easy to modify this kind of stuff. And Plastic Soldier Company's plastic actually is a little elastic in that it doesn't normally crack and snap on you. So I'm a big fan of their stuff. Sometimes the things are out of scale a little bit. Doesn't bother me. It's a war game miniature. Just about anything, if you really can pick at it, is got something that's in the wrong scale. It's very hard to find a perfect kit, but this is a nice addition to the Wehrmacht forces. Okay, so if you like 1/72 scale stuff or any other kind of models mainly all I'm doing is 1/72 scale. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We've got more stuff coming up, and along with the live paint sessions and all the other stuff that those of you that are familiar with my channel know about. And give me a like too while you're at it. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.